the Orthodox Christians of Ukraine ought to do a little bit more thinking and not allow themselves to be passively used as passengers on a train. The Antichrist is using them. All through the history of modern Western civilization, all through its history, Russia has always been considered to be the enemy. Yes. Throughout the history of modern Western civilization, Russia is the enemy. And they have waged endless wars against Russia. The last great war against Russia was the Crimean War, 1852 to 1855, I think. And they gave everything they could give in that war to fight Russia. The objective was to deny Russia Crimea. Because if Russia does not have Crimea, Russia will not have a warm water pot. Russia will be left with the Arctic, where for several months of the year it's ice. If you do not have a navy for so many years, months of the year, you're not a superpower. You're diminished now. So the purpose of the Crimean War was to diminish Russia's military power by denying Russia Crimea. The Crimean War ended with an agreement that Russia will continue to maintain sovereignty over Crimea, but Crimea will be demilitarized. No naval base allowed in Crimea. That was the end of the Crimean War. Russian sovereignty over Crimea was recognized to be maintained, but you're not allowed to have a naval port. And then came the Soviet Union. And all of Russia was part of the Soviet Union, Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, and so on. But now look at what happened in 1954. Nikita Khrushchev transferred Crimea from Russian sovereignty to Ukrainian sovereignty without seeking the permission of the Russian people, without seeking the permission of the people of Crimea. He did it in the middle of the night like a thief. The Russians never accepted that. The Crimeans never accepted that. Why did the Soviet Union transfer Crimea to Ukraine from Russian sovereignty in 1954 in the manner in which it was done? My answer is that while the Soviet Union did many things which was good, it is very clear that the Antichrist was using the Soviet Union for his own purposes. He created the Soviet Union as an atheist state. And the purpose of creating an atheist state amongst the people who had the spiritual heart of religion close to them was to destroy Christianity. Destroy Christianity. And although the Soviet Union ruled over Russia and those countries for so many years, they did not succeed. When the Soviet Union collapsed, they're returning to Christianity. Okay? All right. If the people of Ukraine had a spiritual insight, they would ask themselves the question, why was Crimea transferred to Ukraine? Why? In 1954, without Russia's permission, without Crimea's permission. Russia was being deprived of Crimea because the Antichrist wanted eventually that Ukraine would become an independent state when the Soviet Union collapses, and that Ukraine will become a member of NATO. And when Ukraine becomes a member of NATO and Crimea belongs to Ukraine, Russia is finished. I mean, the plan is so plain and clear like daylight. Why can't the people of Ukraine, who are sincere Christians, they are not a people who say a man can marry another man. If you are such a Christian, that you are following Jesus, then why can't you think and understand that this is the plan of the Antichrist to ensure that when Ukraine becomes a member of NATO, Russia's goose is cooked, and Russia will be denied Crimea. Okay? And then came the coup d'etat in Ukraine, and it is plain and clear who were the actors involved behind the scenes. You don't need a PhD to understand that. So the turmoil going on in the Orthodox Christian Church in Ukraine has to be understood in the terms of Dajjal's continuing effort to deny Russia the power that Russia needs to survive against the West. If they continue with this kind of conflicts within the church, using religion to continue your political agenda. Your political agenda is anti-Russian. That's your political agenda. And you're now using the church, the religion, to pursue your political agenda. You cannot succeed. No. Why? Because the Lord God has said in the Quran that those who follow Jesus are going to be raised to a position of dominance in the world. And when they reach that position of dominance, it will remain until the end of the world. This is in the Quran. And the Christians of Ukraine have to ask themselves, on which side of history do you want to be? Do you want to be on that side of history where the Lord God approves of you and raises you to a position of dominance in the world, and you will remain until the end of the world? Or you want to be on the wrong side of history?